99X. It is the Morning X. Barnes and Leslie ready for a great weekend of free music at the Brookhaven Cherry Blossom Festival. Excellent lineup tomorrow with live Moon Taxi and Sister Hazel. On Sunday, got Bare Naked Ladies, Crash Test Dummies, and Lisa Loeb, who is right there. Hey, girl.
Hi, how are you? It's good to see you.
You look fabulous.
Thank you very much. Well, I dressed up for you guys.
Uh-huh.
For the radio. Yes, exactly.
For the radio. You can tell, I think.
You're all over the place. You are one busy person. I follow you on X, formerly Twitter.
I still call it Twitter.
I know.
Seriously, I can't believe how busy you are. Can you tell me about this event you did, the Celebrating David Bowie?
Oh, wow.
Oh, it was amazing. In Los Angeles at Apogee Studios, the mix engineer Bob Clearmountain, who actually mixed the Let's Dance record from David Bowie, as well as a million other records, like Brian Adams, Bruce Springsteen, you name it. Bob Clearmountain has worked with them. His wife has a company called Apogee, which is this amazing analog to digital converter and microphones. I'm actually using their microphone right now. They've got a great equipment company, and they also have an amazing studio with a performance space. And we were doing a big celebration of David Bowie with a band that often does Bowie tributes, including people like Adrian Belew, who was in Bowie's band, and just this amazing cast of band members and singers. And then they had a lot of guests, including me, Arta Alexakis from Everclear. They had really great special guests, like I got to sing, my friend David Poe. We all got to do different David Bowie songs, and it raised money for a place called Corazon de Vida, which is a handful of orphanages in Mexico, and they raised like a ton of money, but it was just this unbelievable experience. You can see some of the performances, I think, on Instagram.
What song did you do?
I did a song called All the Young Dudes, which so ever since I was a kid, I've been performing his songs, from Rock and Roll Suicide, which I did in high school at Assembly, and Space Oddity. I've done Moon Age Daydream with Foo Fighters and Taylor Hawkins Band years ago. But for this, I had done a cover of All the Young Dudes for a Howard Stern compilation of David Bowie. So we did a little bit of a different approach, and that was the song that I got to perform the other night. Okay,
so this leads into a great question I have for you. What would be your go-to karaoke song? Not one of your songs. You go into a bar, everyone's having a blast, it's your turn. What's your go-to?
I think one of my biggest go-tos is the Melanie song, Brand New Key. I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key. She recently passed away, which is so sad, but that song I love. I just love that song so much.
International Women's Day, you did something very cool, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I saw the photos. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, they invited a handful of us to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, including Jane Wiedlin of the Go-Go's, Shirley Manson of Garbage, and Malena Moy, who's an amazing electric guitar player, rock guitar player, singer-songwriter. And we all got to go there, and I kind of hosted this event. I got to play live music there, and it was to celebrate women in rock. It's funny, the first time I ever visited the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I got a really great backstage tour of all the special things you don't even see out in the museum. And they had told me that Cyndi Lauper was very disappointed that there was not enough about women in the museum. So this is something that has been coming together for a long time, and it's a special exhibit that celebrates women. It's called Left of Center, which is inspired by the Suzanne Vega lyric, Left of Center. Yeah. And it really tells the tale, or some of it, and it will pique your interest about women in rock. And it's a really cool exhibit. And I'm in the museum. It's funny, years ago, I gave them clothes and lyrics and different things that you put in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame museum. And they are using some of those. But it was amazing getting to hang out with Shirley and with Jane. I'm big fans of both of them and friendly with them as well.
Lisa Loeb is hanging out with us. She'll be, of course, this weekend on the 99X stage at the Brookhaven Cherry Blossom Festival. Lisa's playing on Sunday at 3:15. I've already been told by my wife, mandated apparently, we must be there. We cannot miss Lisa Loeb. We will not. But a lot of people assume when they hear Grammy winner Lisa Loeb that you won your Grammy for Stay, which is wrong. You were nominated for it. I want to play a clip. Here's the album. This is from the album that she won a Grammy for. The song's called Feel What You Feel. Listen to it for a second with a special guest.
Guess what?
It's okay.
Go on and feel what you feel today. Feel what you feel, 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 what feel. Squirmy fidget, double digit, past the speed of light. Crazy.
So Craig Robinson, how did that even end up happening?
You know, Craig Robinson, my husband and I were visiting the set of The Office. My husband did a little bit of work with The Office, and we went to the set, and a lot of the cast members and I feel like there was just like a quick connection. And Craig and I specifically, I remember when he shook my hand, it was like shaking a bear claw donut, just warm and delicious. And we just started singing to each other immediately. And for years, we kept talking about we should do a project together. Craig is on The Office. He's got a great sense of humor. And so I asked him to sing on my album. And we were doing one of the songs, which I thought his voice would be perfect for, was called It's All Right to Cry, which was from one of my favorite records when I was a kid called Free to Be You and Me, which was a Marlo Thomas record. And I thought his voice would be awesome on that. But then also we were writing a song called Feel What You Feel, the one we heard. And it was just really fun for us to work together. We've been planning for it forever. I mean, you could see the videos on YouTube too. You could see us working together.
I saw that. I mean, how did you even end up, you do so many things, which is so impressive. You're such a hustler. How did you even get the idea to do kids' music in the first place?
I ever since I was a kid, I loved music. It was funny though, because I'm from the 1970s. So when I was growing up, there was a lot of music. You couldn't tell if it was for kids or for grown-ups. And entertainment, like Steve Martin or like Steve Martin, or some of the TV shows like Carol Burnett, or some of the kids' records like Free to Be You and Me, or there was a Carole King record called Really Rosie. But a lot of the grown-up music sounded like for kids. I just was always, and like early Sesame Street, it had such really great sense of humor, clever, very heartfelt at the same time. And I always wanted to make something like that. So years ago, I always like to find like the independent route. And Barnes & Noble asked if I would make a record that would be available exclusively in Barnes & Noble, which was a great idea because, you were always trying to figure out how to connect with our audiences. And it's unique to have a record there years ago. And they had suggested that I do something different than my regular rock and singer-songwriter records. And I had always wanted to do one. So I made one with my college roommate, who I had a band with for 6 years, who is famous, known very well for her independent band named Ida, as well as her children's music she's done with the Smithsonian Institute. So Elizabeth Mitchell and I made our first record called Catch the Moon. And it was such a great experience to be able to explore my creativity in a different world where I could sing about different things. And that just led me to doing a bunch of children's and family-friendly records.
That's so cool. And then you get a Grammy. Who knew? That is just freaking awesome. What a great story.
I'm really proud of that record, and we have such great collaborators on it. And it's music like the kind of family-friendly music I listen to, which is music I listened to before I even had kids. It doesn't sound like talking down to the kids. It's just music for the whole family.
Where's that Grammy sitting in the house?
The Grammy's actually right behind me.
There
I put it behind me because this is my little office. So it's a place of creativity, and it's a good place to, have your confidence up and just be ready to go deep to create things.
You are doing something really cool with Lyle Lovett. And is this kind of like a storyteller's tour where the two of you are singing each other's songs and then talking about the meaning behind the songs?
Yeah.
Because I would love to go to one of these shows.
This is going to be great. Lyle Lovett and I opened for him in 1996 on his Road to Ensenada tour. And we just got to be friends, and we've been friends since then. It's almost 30 years. And we've kept in touch. And he does all different kinds of shows recently with his big band and more of an acoustic show. He does a lot of different things. But one of the things he's doing that he sort of started during COVID times was he would do a split screen with him and another songwriter. And I did that with him. He did it with, I think, Sean Colvin and a bunch of songwriters you may or may not know. And yeah, it's trading songs. I'm not sure. We'll probably sing on each other's songs a little bit, but it's trading songs, and we both tend to tell a lot of stories on stage. So we'll be doing that. It's going to be really like an intimate experience, but I think it'll be great.
Has there ever been a collab, because you're so connected, that you've either passed up on or it couldn't happen because of crazy scheduling that you regret looking back? Any really wild offer?
There is one that I'm really disappointed about, but it wasn't because of me. It was because of one of I think it was the publishing company I was working with at the time. Janet Jackson Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis came to me and they sent me a cassette tape where they had used the intro to my song "Do You Sleep," and they used the intro to mix in with a big Janet Jackson song on a record that came out in 1997 or so, called "What About Us," I think it was called. And I approved it, and I said, make sure this happens no matter what. It's super cool. And I even imagined myself sitting on stage at SNL. I'm there with my acoustic guitar on the side playing the intro, and then Janet Jackson does her thing. The record company made it happen. The publishing company messed it up, and they didn't make it happen.
No.
And my part of my song did not get onto her record, which is so disappointing.
That would have been wild, though. What a wild collab.
It would have been amazing.
You're someone who explores all of their passions from, being an author, a radio host. Is there something that you've never done that, you want to explore or try to achieve?
Oh, yeah, there's a million things. I actually have Post-its on my door. They cover almost the entire door. I've got so many inventions, ideas, everything from funny T-shirt ideas. I know, it's a little bit. I've got businesses. I've got, you name it, I've done it. I would like to do Broadway. I've written an off-Broadway musical, but I haven't been on Broadway. I think that would be really exciting.
You seem perfect for that.
I know, right? The sun will come out.
And you, I don't know how you're doing. You look 10 years younger than you did in the 90s.
Yeah, what is happening?
I don't know. It's
a Benjamin Button thing. What is going on?
All that water that I'm drinking. Water, coffee, donuts, broccoli.
And you're hosting a show. Are you still doing a show on Sirius XM?
Yeah, I do a daily show on Sirius XM 90s on 9 called Stay with Lisa Loeb.
What is happening?
And I also have a segment which I love called Your Story, Your Song, which is where people call in with their requests because I like to hear their songs. And also I have a segment I created called Where They Are Now. After being interviewed on an Oprah TV thing for a new album I had out years ago, I was like, why are they... Then it turned out it was called their TV show on the Oprah Network. I love Oprah. It was called Where Are They Now? I'm like, what? That's like a Spinal Tap moment. And they had me and they had Isaac Mizrahi and all these people who were doing current things. And I always said, you should change the name to Where They Are Now, which is a nod to the fact you may know somebody from a particular era, but they're doing stuff now. So I created that, and now it's also a podcast that you can find on SiriusXM. And I interview everybody from Weird Al, LeAnn Rimes, NSYNC, Bill Janovitz from Buffalo Tom, all different kinds of folks about what they're doing now.
Tell me, when's the last time your husband saw you?
Just a couple minutes ago when I asked him to please.
But she's almost out the door. So
yeah, no, I know. I do prioritize my family first. They come first, no matter what, and then after that we go from there. This is the first time I've experimented going on tour more than a long weekend or so for years and years and years.
And then you've got this glasses line at Costco.
Yeah.
You've got, I mean, it is impressive. You're almost ready to be a shark on Shark Tank, I think. I think that might be next.
It could be.
I could. I do have, like I said, a notebook full of ideas. But, I have a couple of other things I'm working on right now, so I don't have time for that. But I'm excited to be in Atlanta with my band 9 Stories. This is the band that I played on my first major label album, and I had been playing with them for years, including during college. The bass player and the drummer, who are amazing players, and the guitar player, they emailed me and said, hey, it's the 30th anniversary of Stay. I missed you. We should do some shows or something. And I was thinking the same thing, and I really had wanted to get back together. Not that I'm not with my band. There are a number of musicians I play with, but I haven't been doing a lot of touring with the band. I usually tour just me with a guitar.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And literally within days, we got an offer to come play in Atlanta with a band. So it's going to be my original 9 Stories bands. We're going to be band. We're going to be playing songs from... a lot of songs from my first and second record, Tales and Firecracker, as well as a couple of newer songs. So it's going to be really exciting for me and enjoyable for me too, as well as just being with the band. And I know the audience is going to be super into all the different bands playing that day. Yeah,
in Brookhaven, you might want to break out one of your kids' songs because there's going to be a lot of families. That's a really great event that is set up.
Do you know, weirdly, when I play my grown-up shows, that for a while a couple of people said, don't play your kids shows at your grown-up shows, that's lame. But I have to say, some of those are the most popular songs at my grown-up shows, especially the more intimate ones. I'm not sure this will be it, but we'll see what happens.
Well, congrats on all your success. It just continues to go and go and go. I don't know how you still do that song and make it, and have a connection to it. It seems like every time so many years.
I know. I'm actually heading off to do a play with a band for a school fundraiser, and I'm singing it. But every time I'm playing Stay, whether it's for a cameo and somebody requests it or I played at one of my shows, every time I have my own memories. I also see the audience having their memories or singing along with it. It always just feels really current, and I still relate to it. So.
Have you ever done one of those album shows? And now with the anniversary of this song, like going out and doing the entire album from start to finish?
I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about doing it for my Tales record next year, which is also good practice playing with this band. I do have quite a lot of orchestra and a lot of guitars and a lot of instruments. So, but I would like to do that for Tales. I have done it on Zoom during COVID times. I did a couple of sing through entire albums. But that's a great idea.
Well, congrats. We'll see you this weekend. I love the promotional photo they have on the Brookhaven website. It's you and a guitar that's about 3 times bigger than you.
I saw that.
Oh, it looks that way. That's the perspective.
That is the
also,
perspective.
I am petite, but it's perspective.
We will see Lisa Loeb this weekend. Thank you, Lisa. It was great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I look forward to being in Atlanta.
The Morning X with Barnes and Leslie. 99X.